Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, April 6th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Glad to have you with us tonight. The Maryland Department of Transportation dispatches bridge inspection teams statewide following the I-85 fire and road collapse in Atlanta. Today, a crew was conducting a detailed inspection of a bridge on Jones Mill Road in Silver Spring. Maryland Transportation Secretary Pete Ron says upon learning that the cause was flammable material stored under the overpass, Georgia transit officials notified agencies in other states.
We were notified of what caused it, and I got that notice on Sunday. I passed it along to all of our administrators that I wanted an immediate inspection of our bridges to ensure that we do not have similar items under our bridges.
We don't normally store anything underneath of our bridges, but we have construction activities, whether they're ours or someone else's. Sometimes they'll build staging areas, those types of things. We may know about it, we may not. So what we're doing is we're going out and looking, do we find anything? And if we do we have a permit? And if we do, let's talk to those folks about what those materials are and whether they should be under there or not.
So far, we have not found any materials that, if they were to catch fire, would actually damage the bridge itself. So there can be materials remaining under a bridge, but if it is not a hot enough burning material to damage the bridge, then that's not a problem. From the standpoint.
Inspections of the state's more than 2,500 bridges is expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. Well, a fast-moving thunderstorm flooded parts of Prince George's County this afternoon, and in Laurel, 2 adults and an infant were rescued from a vehicle stuck in high water near Route 197 and Brockbridge Road. According to one resident, this is not the first time the area has flooded after a storm.
The car down there at 1239, whole road got flooded out.
So you said this is not that bad this year?
No, not this year. The flood out here is really dangerous for kids.
So Brockbridge Road, you've seen it flood before?
Yes, and it'd be a lot of car accidents, a lot of death. This has been going on for many years that I don't know why they could not correct the problem.
Authorities advise motorists to never attempt to drive through high water.
Residents in Montgomery County rallied to save a long-lost African-American graveyard. It's in an area slated for development. Members of a nearby church say they fear that the county might press ahead with development and accuse the planning department of hiding evidence of the burial site. Today, demonstrators interrupted a planning board meeting on the issue to call for the resignation of its director, who disputes claims of a cover-up.
This was a very elaborate program to cover up this African cemetery. And quite frankly, who are the people buried there? They are the first generation of freed Africans in Montgomery County. These are the people that Harriet Tubman risked her life to save from the bondage of slavery. Those are the people underneath the soil there that Gwen Wright and her colleagues decided to cover up their lives, their existence, their culture. And so we are here now to demand that she step down.
What we've said from day one is we need to get the facts. We need to find out if there are still burial shafts in this location. We need to find out what is below the ground. And so I was directed in February by the planning board to basically make one more effort to get the 2 academic archaeologists that the church wanted involved in the process. That didn't work out, and so the board had said proceed with having the applicant do the archaeological investigation.
County planning officials say the property owner has engaged a cultural resources management firm to conduct an archaeological investigation of the site. Well, Democrats in Annapolis plan to override, or I should say have overridden, a vote by Governor Hogan on an education bill. Following a news conference this morning, lawmakers voted to override the veto of the Protect Our Schools Act. Supporters say the law will help create a transparent school accountability system, as well as halt Hogan's efforts to privatize public education.
There are some who want to privatize schools, create vouchers, create charter schools without any kind of accountability. We think that's a mistake. We think clearly there are some schools that need intervention. We need to improve and bring up all schools across the state.
It's important to every student in Maryland who deserves a high-quality education. We don't want our kids to grow up being test takers. We want them to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. And so much of their time is being usurped with preparing for and taking tests.
Okay, so the House voted 90 to 50 and the Senate tally was 32 to 15.
After concerns over mold at a local elementary school, the school system conducts a test to check on its air quality. Reports show that District Heights Elementary has inadequate air supply in some classrooms. Students and teachers who have been working in the affected classrooms with moderately elevated mold spore count will be moved. In a test of the building, crews found poor ventilation because of several non-working exhaust fans and low-functioning HVAC units. The school system says they expect that 6 heat pumps will be installed in 3 classrooms by tomorrow. Beginning now and continuing through the summer months, repairs will be made to the school to improve the air quality. Well, police were on the scene of a workplace shooting just after noon today in the 7200 block of Shortcut Road in Brandywine. Office found an adult male suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper body. Investigators say the incident stemmed from a verbal altercation between 2 employees that escalated to one person shooting the other. The victim was taken to an area hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was taken into custody.
A former worker at a Rockville high school has been charged with having inappropriate contact with a student. 57-year-old Mark Yantos, who worked as a security team leader at Richard Montgomery High School, allegedly befriended the 17-year-old victim in 2016. Police say he then bought her gifts and earlier this year took her to a hotel where he continued the relationship. Yantos was arrested this morning at his home in Rockville.